Welcome to Car and Driver. This is a Ford Maverick that we've driven for 40,000 miles. If you're unfamiliar with our long-term test, we like to do that many miles in about a year or so to simulate what your new vehicle might be like to live with every day. We'll cover service, we'll cover usability, we'll cover fuel economy, basically all the stuff you don't get to feel or suss out during a test drive. With this Maverick, we did a lot. We hauled mulch, we got fantastic fuel economy, we learned probably way too much about 3D printing, and we also found exactly where the truck part of its job description ended. Let's get into it. The Maverick's pricing and availability has changed a bit since launch. This is a 2024 model year, and back then you could only get the 2.5-liter hybrid with front-wheel drive, and that's what this is. We opted for the XLT for about 28 grand because the base XL was really base. Now, getting the XLT also opened the door to more options, including the XLT luxury package, which we got because gives you things like heated seats and mirrors, remote start, power adjust 8-way driver's seat, trailer hitch, and so on. We also got the Co-Pilot 360 safety package, yeah, that's the name of it, and that got us blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and a couple other things if I'm remembering right. Tack on a trifold tonneau cover, a soft one, and this Atlas Blue Maverick totaled a hair over 33 grand. Some vehicles in our long-term test are remembered fondly for how well they drove, others for how catastrophic their engine failure was. This Maverick will be remembered for nachos. Specifically, this custom-made and engineered holder for a Taco Bell Nachos Bel Grande. See, throughout this interior, there are these little things dotted all over the place. Ford calls them the Ford Integrated Tether System or something like that. The acronym is FITS because that's cute, right? And this spurred a whole lot of late night 3D printing and a lot of wasted filament. For example, we made a chicken nugget holder with a compartment for a sauce container. Then we printed a bigger chicken nugget holder with room for 2 sauce containers specifically engineered for Chick-fil-A sauce packets. We also printed this custom taco holder, and last but not least, of course, a paper towel holder and dispenser for when you've spilled your nachos. Now, this may have been the most interesting part of our Maverick ownership experience. And that's not a bad thing. You don't buy a front drive hybrid Maverick because you couldn't afford a Mustang. You buy this because you want a crossover with a bed stapled on the back of it. And this is a great bed, 4.5 feet long, holds 33 cubic feet of stuff, and over the course of 40,000 miles, for us that meant bikes, both pedal and gas powered, Costco hauls, a bunch of detritus from cleaning out the garage when spring finally shows up, all that kind of stuff. This also holds exactly 1 yard of mulch, as one of our editors found out when he needed to move 5 yards of mulch, so he did that 1 yard at a time. Aside from that though, this bed is great for the kinds of jobs that would be too big or bulky or messy for the cargo area that you usually get in an SUV. And the rest of the time, when you just want the Maverick to be a car, it does a really good job at that, especially with regard to fuel economy. We occasionally got fuel economy results that we didn't really believe, right? Over the course of 40,000 miles, we averaged 34 mpg. That's not good for a truck. That's like among some compact sedans. The powertrain is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder hybrid paired with a continuously variable automatic transmission. And the best thing we can say about that continuously variable automatic transmission is it doesn't really feel like a continuously variable automatic transmission unless you stomp the gas. Around town, driving it normally, it's responsive and feels pretty good. Total output is 191 horsepower, and that gets you acceleration that's best described as present. We recorded 60 miles an hour acceleration in 7.4 seconds. That's not great, not terrible. It means you should be able to get through most short merges without too much fear. We should also note that after 40,000 miles, this truck still generally drives and feels like the way it did when it was new. It's still solid, there's no major rattles or squeaks, and that's a pretty good accomplishment regardless of the price point. So the initial charm of the Maverick's practical, no-nonsense cabin started to wear thin during our tests. And I mean literally, like the glove box, for example, just look at the scratches and scuffs on it. It doesn't look that good. Ditto for the back of the armrest here. You could wave away some of those things when this pricing was in the $20,000 range, but that's harder to do now that it's in the $30,000 range. For that kind of money, you expect the glove box to survive contact with gloves, right? I also want to highlight this phone holder thing here. It's great for holding a phone, but it's also like a magnet for dust and crumbs, and the shape of it makes it really hard to vacuum out. There's just crud in there that's just going to be there now. It feels like forever. The XLT luxury package gave us this trailer hitch and this 4-pin connector here, but literally no one used it over 40,000 miles. The problem was the 2,000-pound tow rating, which you would easily exceed with like a riding mower on a trailer. You'd get uncomfortably close with a small personal watercraft on a trailer too, and that's before imagining the hell that would be a front drive vehicle on a slippery boat ramp. This would be a good setup for like a bike carrier or a cargo carrier on a long road trip to free up space in the bed. But if you really want to tow with your Maverick, get an all-wheel drive version because those have tow ratings of 4,000 pounds. Another reason why you might want to get all-wheel drive, well, consider that our very own David Beard had the always pleasant experience of getting this thing stuck on a driveway in the snow in northern Michigan. Never mind the Firestone Winter Force UV2 tires we had installed specifically for the task. The front-wheel drive system simply couldn't figure it out and ended up spinning one wheel in what's best described as like impotent protest. David said he's made it up that same driveway in similar situations with similar vehicle configurations before too, so kind of a bummer on the Maverick. All-wheel drive certainly would have helped, but as we've mentioned, it wasn't available in 2024 with the hybrid. Fortunately, Ford has finally figured out how to package all-wheel drive with the hybrid starting in 2025. Service was relatively straightforward. There's one scheduled service visit every 10,000 miles, so 4 in total for us, and we spent about $600 on service for this vehicle during the course of its test. Now, our dealerships, always very entrepreneurial around Ann Arbor, Michigan, they charged us $34 for a cabin air filter every time we needed to do it, and $40 to install it. That's a ridiculous amount of money. The part goes for way less online, and most people can do the job themselves in their driveway or wherever they park after watching a 5-minute YouTube video. Do yourself a favor, do the work yourself, save the money, and put it towards more plastic filament or, I don't know, chicken nuggets. This hybrid front-wheel drive Ford Maverick delivered on its central promise of fuel economy and utility, but in doing so, it revealed some of the compromises necessary to give you that combination. For example, we got astounding fuel economy out of this truck, but in doing so, this truck had to limit some of the things that make a truck, like fundamentally. For example, towing heavy objects or finding traction where there is none. Now that makes this a great vehicle for those who want a crossover or a sedan most of the year, and then you want a bed on that one day or month, for example, where you decide to buy a ficus tree or need to haul exactly 1 yard of mulch. Now, by that metric, this is a fantastic combination that we would highly recommend, but we'd also steer you towards all-wheel drive. And if you don't want that, just make sure you plow your driveway in the winter.